Nothing to see here. Just Matt Gaetz burning the barn down again in an incredible speech in Florida. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug. This is where all the happy people are. Matt Gaetz.
The rampant spending that is behind this inflation is making life unaffordable for so many. Inflation has gotten so bad that foreign governments can no longer bribe Democrat senators with U.S. cash alone. They have to send gold bars just so that the bribes hold value.
That's a rip on Menendez. And yes, he was actually bribed with gold bars.
But it's our fellow Americans who are spending more than $700 a month more than they were just 2 years ago for the same goods and services.
This is going to be what Trump will use to win the election. Mom and pops, everyday people, they can feel it, they can see it, and the media can't snow job us anymore. We know what gas used to cost. We know what pre-COVID America was like. We know what the financials were like, and we're not going to be fooled. And this is what's going to take Biden down.
61% of this country right now, including probably many of you, living paycheck to paycheck. But when the paycheck doesn't stretch for the pay period, more Americans are turning to credit cards. Our debt is driving up the APR on those credit cards, and we now see more delinquencies than at any other time in the last decade. This inflation crisis is happening because we have a corrupt system where money is spent without itemized review.
So real quick, that itemized review is part of why Matt Gaetz flushed McCarthy. They want to be able to have bills where if you put in like 5 items, you can review them one at a time instead of pass them all as a clump.
Joe Biden is sleepwalking us into 1 or 2 or 3 wars, all while soiling his pants on the way to meet the Pope.
Cheap shot. We approve.
Trump gave us peace through strength, and Biden gives us war without winning. But all of this weirdness, he's been scratching and sniffing his way through the presidency.
That was not a cheap shot. That was actually documented truth.
You deserve better. You gave the donations, you knocked the doors, you made the calls, and you elected a Republican House of Representatives. I figured it was about time we started acting like Republicans again.
And here coming up is the big one. Without Matt Gaetz, you would not have Speaker Mike Johnson. You can thank him.
But fighting Washington has won us a new conservative speaker. Fighting Washington has shown the swamp creatures that they don't win every time, and they're not going to keep getting away with breaking their promises and paying lip services to the true conservatives, making sure we win elections. Fighting Washington has restored some modicum of power back to we the people.
This is the MAGA campaign. I've said before, it's not going to be Trump versus Biden, Trump versus the state, or Trump versus Washington. That's where the battlegrounds are. And Trump's going to win, I believe. And the people, we're going to get our government back. There is good reason to not despair. I'm Doug in Exile. Are you still on board?